Hi everyone, you're through to Morgan. And today I want to cover a subject called change and adaptation. Wow, this is going to be quite interesting because this is coming up from my new upcoming book that I'm currently writing called How to Get That Man or Woman in Your Life and Keep Them. Okay, now I'm hoping for it to be out at the start of next year, but I'll keep you posted of the developments there. And yeah, hopefully you can let me know what you think when it comes out. Okay, so back to adaptation and change. Now, I find that there are so many situations, so many scenarios here within life where people are in relationships or, they end relationships for all sorts of reasons, but mainly because they feel that they're not being understood in any way, shape, or form. Well, I have had so many queries here on change. Should I change the way that I am to suit this man? Should I change the way that I am to suit this woman? Well, she kind of got to know you in a certain respect at the start, but you find that you are a complete 360-degree change just down the line. You kind of get comfortable and feel that you don't have to try anymore. This is just one example. I feel that relationships should be 50-50. Of course, you should have both people involved. Say you're in a boat, you're going down the river, and there's two people in this boat, but only one person steering it. Well, the other person's going to get bored, isn't that right? Correct? Yeah. Okay, so we have to have two people steering this boat. Now, obviously, sometimes you feel like chucking the other person overboard. Yeah, because a lot of people get on a lot of people's nerves, hence the relationship coming to an end. But you wonder, is that the reason why we failed to work out because only one person was steering the boat? I'll be completely honest with you, absolutely. Now, I find that the best way for a relationship to be retained is for the other person, one of the people, individually, you both, I'll say two, yeah, you both have to change certain areas of your lives, that you're not giving respect to the other. Have a conversation, have a conversation with each other, have a conversation with yourself, have a little look at where you feel you're going wrong. Is there something that you're not giving to that person? Have a think about it, because there are so many reasons for relationships failing, but most of them are because of equality and a lack of it. So if you think about, what, I think I need to change certain areas here that I once was adhering to, but I'm no longer, then have a think about that and definitely do it, But both of you do it. It's not a one-way thing. It's not a one-way agreement here. It's for both of you to make changes so that you can show the other person that they are valid in your life. They are a priority within your life. If a person's not making you their priority, then there's no basis for a relationship. Now, once you've found that you've established there are changes you need to make, you'll find that once you've made those changes where, okay, I'm not saying that you should ever change yourself. You should always remain true to who you are. Yeah, but there are certain areas within the relationship. So, for example, one person's always paying for something. For example, you get to the till at Asda and he goes, yeah, I'll see you in the car. And you know that you're going to be the one picking up the bill. You're at a bar and you get a drink. Okay, this is like, just a scenario, yeah? And everything's great. He buys you a drink and you're like, yeah, this is good. And then comes the second drink and he goes, your turn. Oh my gosh. What do you do? Well, I'll be completely honest. Well, moi, personally, I'm going. I've got my coat on and I'm off, because I believe a man should be a man. That's correct. Right. So there's no changes there. Man should always be a man. I believe that he should, just respect a woman and show her that she is priority within his life, and that he, being a bit old fashioned, he should pick up the bill, on certain occasions. I do believe that that's right, and I do believe that he should take you out and make you feel special. Yeah, woo you, wine and dine you, all that kind of thing. No changes there. I'm talking about the changes where you get a bit of an attitude with each other because you start to take the other person for granted. That's got to change. That has got to change. The relationship will not be a relationship for as long as you continue to do that, to disrespect your partner. There is no excuse for disrespect, Once a person starts to disrespect you, they're not making you a priority. And the list goes on. So you might as well just call that quits, because that's never, ever going to revert back to the way it was. Unless, of course, there are changes that are made. I do believe that everyone can change, yeah, but only if they want to. So these are the changes that you need to make, yeah? And I say that you have to leave, yeah? There's a reason for that, because irrespective of whether you come back together again, there can be changes that you have to make, obviously individually within yourselves, but you can't do that whilst you're in the same environment, seeing each other day in, day out, doing the same thing, adhering to what is destroying you. You need to have a clear break, so you can recognize the faults that you both have within and have had within the relationship and have brought to it to get it to that point. And you both have to give each other time to miss each other, because then that's where the adaptation comes. You'll find that if you make the changes, he makes the changes, you both make the changes, that the next thing's going to happen. You're both going to adapt to each other's changes that you've made. And these are changes for the relationship, not changes of yourselves individually. You should always remain true to who you are. But on the subject of change and adaptation, I do strongly believe that this is one that is not covered very often. And if it were, a lot of relationships would be saved. We'd have a lot of happy people, a lot of happy relationships. And within my book coming up, as I say, it's coming up next year and I'm looking forward to it. It has all the elements of change and adaptation that you can think of, step by step. Okay, what to do if this happens? What happens if he treats you in a certain way? What happens if she treats you in a certain way? Hey, this is a two-way thing. It's not just women that are being downtreated here and downgraded by, their partners, and their relationships. Men are being treated just as bad, and if there were changes and adaptations within the relationship to each other, hey, everyone would be a whole lot happier. So let's see, how can we turn this around? How can we get the best out of our relationships? How can we bring people together happily in love and forever and ever create unity for the whole world? Let's see what we can do about that. As I say, first and foremost, look at the changes that you have made individually within yourselves to get it to the point where you're both at a negative. You're both got your backs to each other. You don't want to talk anymore, but you know that something's got to change because there's something there. How are you going to turn that around? Look at the changes that you need to make to turn that around and work with it. Once you've made the changes within yourself that you initially had made to bring it to that point, you'll find that you can both adapt to the changes that you make. And remember, the changes within yourself are not personal to who you are as an individual, but personal to the relationship that you once had that could have been salvaged had you both addressed certain areas. So, on that subject, I'm hoping that I've been of some help and some guidance to you all within your relationships. I do hope that you send me messages and ask me questions that you want me to address on the next upcoming videos. But for now, I believe that it's about that time. Bye for now.